When a hero falls from such a height that there's no chance of scraping his bones back together, there will inevitably be something conveniently placed for him to grab at the last moment. And what an exciting journey it is, swinging on a long-ass vine dangling from a helicopter just off screen. Masterpiece of continuity. Red smashes into a branch, the egg flies 50 meters forward, but a second later our hero miraculously catches it, thanks to good old cinematic teleportation. Soft feathers equals iron grip. A balls joke at the 2-minute mark, and about birds that don't even have them. And why the hell did that branch catapult Red upwards when that would require someone holding it down and then letting go? His clown disguise kit is stored somewhere in his magic movie pocket dimension. The feathers on his ass go from perfectly intact to completely plucked, and then magically back again without a single care.
So disappointed in yourself for being this late?
What late delivery are we even talking about? If the package is due by 12 and the courier shows up before 12, then what the hell does it matter if he's a minute early or an hour early? On Bird Island, we have the world's best parents. So caring that they just leave their priceless eggs on the damn doorstep where any clueless delivery guy could smash them to bits. By pure coincidence, every single asshole on the island, all the ones with the most obnoxious personalities, just happens to gang up on the one bird with anger management issues. Almost like they're doing it on purpose. The leaves covering the window are twice the size from the outside compared to the inside, and the sun shining directly through the window is actually coming from the opposite direction. What kind of rock house shakes from a kid kicking a ball at it? Now that's a realistic knee reflex test with a hammer. The classic, hero thinks the flirting is for him, but it's actually for someone behind him cliché, always aimed at the exact same stereotypical handsome guy. According to the map, every single bird lives in one tiny village. So where the hell was Red delivering that package through the jungle when all he had to do was walk across town in 2 minutes?
Probably doesn't even remember me.
Character says something that is immediately contradicted 1 second later. The courtroom artist doesn't just exaggerate the expressions of everyone in the trial, he gives them entirely different faces. And at this moment, Red thought, the judge is about to decide my fate, I should really make a good impression. I know, I'll make fun of him in front of everyone. What a flawless plan. In a town without traffic, there's a traffic cop pretending pedestrians are trucks and buses. Also, the hero loses his shit over every little thing, but the moment he's actually given the perfect excuse to rage out, he suddenly turns into a Zen monk, only to flip right back to rage mode immediately after. Logic. Don't forget to draw drool on the non-existent glasses. Yeah, sure, if you just shake a dummy in front of you, it might totally knock you the fuck out by accident. And why the hell does this bird have a mouthful of huge... Wait, some birds in this movie actually have teeth? Jesus Christ. The cop writing Chuck a ticket spends so long on his damn paperwork that the criminal literally robs him, gets drunk at a bar, and comes back before the ticket is even finished, without the cop ever looking up. And of course, we can't go a single scene without a poop joke. Nope, that's not chocolate ice cream. Chuck confirms, it's shit. Matilda has criminal case files on the floor next to her. A minute later, they mysteriously disappear, only to pop right back into existence in the next shot. During the police siren flashback, we hear screeching tires and wailing sirens. Even though cars don't fucking exist on this island, the science behind Bomb's explosion ability remains a complete mystery. Maybe his feathers are made of dynamite. Every movie night must be a full moon, preferably with a moon the size of a goddamn planet. This bird just laid an egg the size of her entire body.
Doesn't have parents.
No hero backstory is complete unless they're an orphan. Near Red's house, there's a palm tree that wasn't there before. This movie will be significantly better if we show someone projectile vomiting in full detail. A massive explosion destroys a building, but by the next day, everything's magically restored like nothing ever happened. Matilda acts shocked when she sees the wrecked scarecrow, even though Red left it there in plain sight yesterday. And how the hell is there a red feather on it when Red only has 2 red feathers on his head, and we clearly saw both were still there before and after the fight? Terrence somehow arrives at the beach before Superfast Chuck, using what I assume is another case of movie teleportation. The artist somehow carved his own face into a rock while posing and looking at himself from behind. Because obviously, of all the empty spots on the shore, the pigs just had to land their ship on the hero's house. The anchor rock is half buried in the sand, then suddenly completely submerged in the next shot. The crates in the background were clearly drawn by 2 different animation teams. In the wide shot, the judge is in the middle and the pigs are on the sides. In the close-up, at the exact same moment, the judge is standing on the side and the pigs are dancing in the center. A coconut cup clinks like glass. A massive fiery explosion makes the birds cheer with excitement instead of screaming in terror. The pig ship has reinforced doors on every room, but not a single lock. And the storage bay is full of pigs, yet none of them were smart enough to guard the damn ship. Yeah, it turns out, birds can also pull random shit out of their invisible movie pockets. The area around Red's house remains untouched, despite the fact that the pig's anchor obliterated everything the moment they arrived. Chuck paints a self-portrait while posing and looking at himself from the outside, because he moves faster than the speed of light. There are half a dozen paintings on the easel in front of Red, even though 2 minutes ago there was only one. And the animators clearly don't realize that the back of a painting isn't just another identical canvas, but, has an actual wooden frame. Terrence vanishes into thin air before he even leaves the shot. This wine has the transparency of ink. The only bird on the entire island who finds the pigs suspicious is Red, because everyone else is too busy being brain-dead morons.
Come out to play?
All of this does not just happen on its own.
And why the hell are the black feathers you curled still straight? Not a single bird on this island can fly, except for Eagle, who apparently lives in a completely different franchise. Super realistic rock formations. The cliffs randomly change shape depending on Antarctic ice drift. Bomb is water skiing using Chuck as a motor, then 1 second later he's floating belly up. Guys, was there really no way to cut the agonizingly long pee joke? Also, the animators clearly don't know that urine streams break into droplets at the end. Nor that birds don't even fucking have bladders. Mighty Eagle was a shredded muscle god before taking a piss. Now he's got a beer gut hanging to his knees. The trophy with the finger is on the bottom shelf. The trophy with wings is directly above it. 1 second later, they're side by side, and between them, a golden disc. Another second, and both trophies are now to the right of the disc. Also, the wing trophy looks completely different now. In short, absolute chaos. In every scene with the dynamite crates, the letter N is written correctly, except in one shot where it's suddenly mirrored. The chicks hijack a motorcycle without even touching the clutch or shifting gears. Just twist the throttle and off they go. And how exactly did they all move from the seat and fuel tank to the handlebars in an instant? The crossing guard terrorizes pedestrians to let an old lady cross, but has no problem with her almost getting flattened immediately after. Binoculars always show 2 perfectly connected circles, and they have infinite zoom at the press of a button. Meanwhile, from the top of the mountain, the heroes can clearly see what's happening at its base, completely ignoring the giant cloud layer separating them. So, we're supposed to believe that the pig stole every single egg because all the birds, these super dedicated parents, decided to leave their precious offspring completely unattended just to go party?
Use the trampolines!
Of course, the pigs conveniently placed trampolines all over the dock for the heroes. There were 2 ships docked at the shore. When the heroes try to stop the villains, there's only one. A minute later, 2 ships sail away again, and the pigs take the beaten-up dummy with them, despite the fact that, according to the plot, it was already trampled into dust. The village was destroyed at night. By morning, the map is burning like it was set on fire 30 seconds ago. What were all these birds doing until sunrise if they just showed up now? Still dancing at their endless party? Pig's Island is easily found thanks to a massive trail of debris, because someone forgot that not a single piece of the ships fell off when they set sail. So where exactly did this perfectly placed garbage road across the ocean come from? As expected, the pigs are ecstatic about having the eggs, discussing how they'll eat them while not touching a single one. You'd think they'd have gobbled them up on day one. Naturally, the wind just happens to blow the birds' raft directly to Pig Island. A slow-moving raft carried exactly where it needs to go in a few hours, even though it should have taken a week at that speed. And it would have been much harder for the birds to attack the city, if not for the giant slingshot that the pigs generously provided. Fully embracing the classic trope, villains dig their own graves for no reason. Out of nowhere, the birds suddenly develop superpowers, including shooting plasma balls from their butts. Yes, that actually happens. The eagle's magic binoculars were already a miracle for showing what was at the foot of the mountain. But now, they can see events happening on an island beyond the horizon, 50 kilometers away. Sure, villains never hire anyone except the dumbest, most useless henchmen in existence. Classic. At some point in the battle, the enemy uses their super weapon, but why didn't they just do that immediately? We don't know. Then again, the pigs' pilots all seem to be graduates of the Academy for the Terminally Incompetent. Not only does Chuck have Quicksilver's powers from X-Men, but now he's also cloning himself into 10 copies at once.
Yeah, Chuck, that's not his rear end, that's his face.
That is clearly a drumstick. What are you even talking about? The eagle can barely keep himself airborne, yet now he's carrying a massive net stuffed with eggs? Logic has left the chat. A huge hole appears in the net and an egg falls through. In the next shot, the net is perfectly intact again. If Terrence was inside the armored truck the whole time, why did he aim a machine gun at the birds? Just for a jump scare? More editing magic. The eagle flies away from the palace and should have left the city in seconds. But 4 whole minutes pass. Bomb blows up the runway. Red defeats the king, the entire castle explodes, and somehow the eagle is still right where he started, as if he spent all that time just circling for no reason. A plunger suddenly appears in the eagle's beak, even though it wasn't there a second ago, and the number of eggs in the net instantly shrinks by at least half. Everyone thought the hero was dead, but surprise! He's totally fine, Klitschie! Apparently, if you really want it, 3 chicks can hatch from a single egg. A red sees his brand new house for the first time after it's already finished. What was he doing the entire time it was being built? Walking around completely blindfolded, and why are Chuck and Bomb living with him? The villagers built Red a house, but just left them homeless, even though they were just as heroic as he was. The eagle runs out of his cave holding a record player. 1 second later, he's on a mountaintop, and his music is loud enough to be heard in Pig City, at a distance where only a volcanic eruption should be audible. And there is no way anyone survived that explosion, and which should have turned them all into crispy bacon. But the craziest part, even the king, who was right at the epicenter of an explosion packing tons of TNT, walks away without a scratch. And I still don't get how the birds are dancing in their fully rebuilt village, which should have taken months to reconstruct, while the pigs are just now crawling out of their city's ruins, like only a few hours have passed since the explosion.
Yeah, Chuck, that's not his rear end, that's his face.